This is TD's Your Story, Your Future, and joining us now is a certified executive coach, entrepreneur, and an expert at helping professionals to get out of their own way. Victoria Turner, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So what do you think holds us back as women from living our version of success? How do we get in our own way?
We are in our own way. That, I would suggest, is one of the biggest obstacles that stands in our own way, limits us from success, is that we do stand in our own way. And I literally stood in my own way my entire life, and now reflecting back for the first 35 years, and now looking back, I have figured out a way to get out of my own way and to help so many other women across Canada do the same for themselves.
I think many people wouldn't understand what that means. So how do we get in our own way?
Oh my gosh. What is something that, when we think about something that we want for ourselves, the only thing that will enable us to achieve it is us. So if we actually aren't achieving what we want, or if we're feeling stuck, or if we're frustrated, or any of those negative things, it's only up to us to change our habits around them.
Well, you mentioned that there's a plan.
Yes.
So, and we understand that you recently worked with TD to create a planning workshop for the bank's female entrepreneurial clients across the country.
Yes.
So what did that look like? Can you tell us?
Oh, it was such an exceptional opportunity. Because of my work with professional women, having a plan is so important to actually have an idea of where we want to go for ourselves. And mine's a tactical plan. And TD, obviously, it's the financial plan, is assessing where we are today, where they are today, and how they can get to their future, is such a gift of, I guess, taking the time right now to assess what we want for our future. So what TD did and collaborated with me is that we went across the country and we invited the bank's small business female entrepreneurs to come for 2 hours and shut down the noise to get clarity on what they want at work and their life. And they actually left this workshop with an action plan to achieve the goals that they set out for themselves, but also with the ability to have a self-assessed where they are, what they want for their future, and to see what financial requirements they need in their future, and give them the opportunity to say, oh my goodness, this is where I would be of service to take action and to go meet with a financial planner or a small business advisor to actually see what I can start doing now so that I can achieve those goals. Because a year, 2 years, 5 years are going to go by, but unless you take the time now in this moment to start planning, it's going to be really hard to achieve those goals.
Okay, so you've got sort of 5 fundamental principles that you worked in. And it's what, the power system?
Yes.
Okay, so how does that break down?
So this is why TD partnered with myself, because of our whole commitment to the plan. So POWER is actually an acronym. And this is how we get out of our own way. This is how every day when I feel like I'm not getting the outcomes I want, I plug into this and my clients plug into this. So POWER actually is almost like a self-assessment tool. P is plan. So do I have an idea of the outcome I want to achieve? Okay. O is for opportunity. Can I reframe fear, self-doubt, or insecurity that are creeping up? Because even if you have a really clear plan for what you want to achieve, so often we keep ourselves stuck by those negative thoughts. W in power is why not me? If we don't believe in ourselves, the outcome that we are trying to achieve is so much harder to achieve. So that's a fundamental place.
So it's not, why not me? It's,
no, why not me? Absolutely. And E is in the everyday. And this really relates to the financial planning as well, is that if this is what I want for myself in the future, does my everyday in this moment reflect what I want for myself? So what do I need to do today so that I am actually going to create that future for myself? And then the R is all about results.
Hang on, the E.
Yeah, E is every day.
E is every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then R for power is results. So how do I achieve these results? And the truth is we have to get out of our comfort zone. So many of the goals that we aspire for ourselves at work and in life are not the ones that are in our cushy little comfort zone. So how can we do that? How can we take that action? And so these 5 questions that I just asked, wherever I say no, so do I have a plan? Am I reframing? I ask, and if we have a no for any of those questions, then that's where we plug into one of those principles to figure out new habits to change that.
Okay,
that make sense?
When people say get out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
though, I know it's to me it's a nerve-wracking phrase, because I'm not sure whether I'm verging on taking a really dangerous risk, or I'm just, or it's just getting out of my comfort zone. I mean, there has to be a line there.
Oh, Oh, I would push back and say no. And so
Okay.
that risk, so often, my mom's voice always comes into my mind. What appears like a 30-foot fall, when you actually take it, is a 2-foot step. So think of something that may have made you so nervous. I mean, embarking on a new podcast or a new radio or a new business or a promotion, it feels so daunting and overwhelming. But unless you take that action, you'll never know. So you can choose to stay in your comfort zone in a really safe place. And that's the choice. Or you can choose to get out of your own way and be willing to step out of your comfort zone. And the coolest thing is when you look back, you're like, oh my goodness, that really wasn't that challenging.
Well, there's a difference, though, between stepping out of your comfort zone when you're qualified. And then there's, attempting something that you're completely wrong for, totally unqualified for, and destined for failure. How do you recognize that?
See,
I'm never going to be an astronaut.
Yes.
Because I'm never going to jump off the CN Tower.
And I'm never going to be a supermodel.
Well, and I would suggest for that astronaut, you don't get to be an astronaut tomorrow. So I think when you if that's really what you want for yourself, it's just like in planning. Right now they're actually interviewing. They've sent out. You can apply to become an astronaut,
No, I know, but
that process is a year of really qualified people. So I would say, giddy up, try, and you'll realize along the way. But if you never try, you'll never
We
get
can
there.
send Christine to space.
But Victoria, there are certain things. I mean, I can't sing a note. I am never going to be Beyonce. I'm never going to be, Adele. So to say I'm standing in my own way, lack of talent would be the starter.
But the question would be, do you aspire to be Beyonce?
Yeah, no, I aspire to be a singing star on stage. Yes, I do.
Well, and somebody would say
it's never going to happen.
Elaine Overholt can
But
help
you never, but you never know until you try, and that's the whole thing. Is that
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I don't have to try.
Yeah, but that's for anybody. I mean, do we want to encourage people to stay in their comfort zone and stay safe, or do we want to encourage people to actually claim one thing that would delight them to do in their life, and to be willing to go and do it, because that is where the joy is.
Mm-hmm. So did you hear some common themes from women across the country when you did this tour with TD?
Absolutely. And to your point, that fear of maybe I'm not prepared enough, or maybe I don't have the qualifications, or I don't have enough staff, or I don't have the capital, I don't have all that kind of stuff. Those are all just internal dialogue that is so relevant. And so from all that, the fact that we're not alone was a really curious outcome from two perspectives. So not being alone, realizing that everybody's details are different, but fundamentally we all have the same struggles. And what TD was so brilliant about was creating a really incredible platform for community members who are professional women or entrepreneurs to connect and have authentic, productive conversations, to learn from each other's shared experiences. And that was such a gift to actually realize I'm not alone. I can ask the person sitting beside me, who ironically has a similar business, and I can learn from them. And the I'm not alone was also, I was talking with somebody in your waiting room about surrounding yourself with experts. Is that that time that we had gave us all the opportunity to self-reflect. So this is my vision. This is what I want for myself. And a lot of these pieces have financial commitments. So realizing that I don't want to be an expert in finance. And a lot of the women were so grateful to know who exactly they can continue the conversation with post-workshop. And those are the experts that TD already has. And it was just this incredible opportunity to see, I'm going to be of service to myself, and I really have to start prioritizing, for example, my personal financial wealth. Because as business women, we typically juggle so many balls, and our personal retirement is probably not the highest ranking ball until something happens. So it was an incredible gift to these professional women.
Can you give us one or two tips for our listeners to help them start planning today?
Yeah. Well, I would say identify, even if actually an obnoxious question is, where do you want to be 5 years from now? That's a really...
I hate that one. I want to be in your job, I said to every interviewer. Right there.
And the beautiful thing that TD offered the women participants is that we started off with your legacy. How do you want to be remembered? So 5 years from now, what do you want your business to look like? Mm-hmm. And then, so if you want that 5 years from now and your life, then 1 year from now, what do you have to have accomplished? And if that's what you want 1 year from now, what over the next month, what are 4 actions that you can take that will position you to be achieving that 1 year goal, which leads to your 5 year vision, which leads to your legacy? So it's literally offering a work back.
Now, how do people connect with you if they want to?
At yourpoweroutlet.com is my website, and all my social handles are on there. And if you have any questions about how to get out of your own way, I always have free articles, videos, all those kinds of things that you can tap into. It's a movement. It's a power tribe of women who want to show up authentically, have exceptional lives and businesses, and have fun along the way.
Victoria Turner, thank you very much for telling us everything about it in this week's TD's Your Story, Your Future. You can check out TD at tdwaterhouse.ca. When we come back, Guelph-born artist Mike Todd joins us to talk about his career and a new single. This is What She Said.